if you were compromised in some organ, you...
Kidneys, I believe. They'll hit your kidneys, and I think you can see the levels in kidneys, but I'm not 100%. You know, Nick, I'm thinking since I think we only have about 5 minutes left, it might be good to at least run through the herbs.
That'd be
Herbs to
great
administer.
for those of us who came in late.
Yeah, when people.
Sure.
Do you want to start there?
Sure.
Or I can...
Yeah, let's. My sense is that this is an extremely rich story. 5 minutes won't do it justice, so maybe we might do another little chat at some later juncture. In the meantime, some key herb to keep in mind: elderberry, echinacea, garlic.
Victoria, do you work with that at all?
No, bone set. That's
Bone set.
again, yeah, but careful. It's powerful herb, generally taken in small quantities. You might consider a bit of a poison.
Like tea?
Yes, but you would only take it in no more than half a cup at a time. Bone set has a very long established use for dealing with respiratory viral infections. They go back before the settlers. I don't have experience using it, but I will try using it again this year. One of the reasons I've tried to germinate for the last maybe 4 years. I have no luck germinating. I know that people have a lot of difficulty germinating. Where it has been germed, it settles in here quite well. But actually getting it germed is
Are you talking about comfrey?
And then put comfrey
No, we're
all
talking
bone
about
cells. It sounds like you're talking about
No, we're
something
talking
else.
about we're talking about a plant called bone set or Eupatorium foliata. Generally grows in Arkansas swamps.
And it grows quite well in the wet areas here once you get it established. As a matter of fact, I'll just point out all 4 of those: the eck, the elder, the bone set, the garlic. We can grow all of those, so that's really fabulous.
Would you recommend all of this for pregnant women who have swine flu?
You know, maybe pull the bone set out, but yeah, I think eck is fine. Garlic is a food, really. Elder is great. Elder, small children can have elder.
That's blue,
So-
right? Or is it blue?
Blue or black. Yeah,
Not red.
yeah, not red. Yes.
Is there any other way to get elderberry besides syrups?
You can do
Yes.
it in a tincture.
Yeah,
In a tincture, yeah.
you can harvest it yourself. It's quite
Or vinegar,
You-
too. Vinegar is good.
Right, yeah, vinegar's great, thank you, Kate. And you don't want to do it in a tea though, because it'll kill some of the constituents that you want to.
What about the wine?
So, well, the amount of alcohol, because the wine is a lower alcohol content, you'd have to drink a lot
Not
more
like
of that.
elderberry wine.
Right, so a tincture is a higher alcohol content than a wine.
Uh-huh.
So a tincture is going to extract a lot more of the compounds of the elder, and so you'll have to take less. You can take less of that alcohol. So with wine, you kind of have to get drunk to take the right amount, which you probably don't want to do.
Yeah.
So great on other,
And
you know,
an elderberry syrup
Beltane.
on pancakes going into the fall counts as a very effective prophylactic. Yes.
Just as a note, there was a great novel, and I can't remember the name of it, by William Soroyan. It's very entertaining, and it's about the flu epidemic of 1918, and it's the main character is a young man who's in the military, on a military base where they lost more people than they did in the war.
Yeah.
And he's like a secretary for the high-ranking soldier, and the fellow sends him, I can't remember if he was a doctor, but anyway, he sent him out to buy whiskey and all of the bags of onions that he could get his hands on, and they drank the whiskey and ate raw onions, and then were some of the two only surviving. I mean, they could not keep up with the dead bodies and hauling them away. And anyway, was a very entertaining book and interesting philosophy on how to avoid a flu pandemic.
And he's a great writer.
And one
Yes.
really great treatment that I love, there's two different ways you can do this for when somebody's actually feverish with the flu, is to chop up a bunch of garlic, put it on the bottom of your feet, put socks on, and your body will suck that garlic right in. You can also, if you don't want it to be so messy, you can actually do this with cinnamon essential oil as well.
There's the
Highly-
thieves essential oil that I've been tuning into. Do you know much about thieves?
I'm kind of like a Young Living and I have a bone to pick with each other, but I love the smell of that oil, so you could speak to that a little bit more.
Well,
So.
there's just ingredients in it that are all antiviral.
Right.
And so they suggest putting drops just on the soles of your feet. That's what reminded me of it.
Okay,
And
nice.
it's Thieves essential oil, which you don't have to get it from Young Living. You can make your own mixture. I can't remember all the ingredients in it right now, but you can look online, Young Living's website, look at Thieves and look what's in the Thieves oil. But you could probably make a tea out of the same ingredients because it has like cinnamon and cloves, I think, in it. But it's called Thieves because during one of the plagues, supposedly people who went in and burglarized the homes of people who had died didn't pick up the plague because they were eating a lot of these spices.
Right, right.
So that's one.
And just certainly sort of a concluding remark from me, unlike the cold, influenza actually destroys tissue. So the large part of the focus of influenza is in the upper part of the respiratory tract. The way the body responds to infected tissue, the epithelium, which is the surface tissue, which is essentially where we find the flu virus doing its stuff, is to try and throw it off. So you tend to see a lot of damage to the throat. So one of the things we see typically mucus producing ability of the throat compromised. Keeping the throat moist is something you really want to endeavour to do. There's a whole suite of herbs that we refer to as demulcents that are very, very, very effective in this regard. Marshmallow probably one of our best. Mullein, an amphoteric, is an herb with a particular affinity for the respiratory tract, also has a mucilaginous quality, will sort of help in that regard. I am going to make a special effort this winter. This last winter I began experimenting with inhalations for the first time. I found it to be incredibly effective. One of the things I'm going to, and I see almost nothing in the literature relating to this, one of the things I'm going to be doing a lot of over the course of the next few weeks is refining my understanding of what I'm going to recommend to people to take as inhalations. We know, for example, that heat kills the influenza virus. The fact that you're taking hot inhalations that are demulcent, that support basically the respiratory system, I think is going to be useful for people.
And I'll say I have a long history always with people with upper respiratory, always have them do steams. Always, always. So you want to get the water as hot as possible, put a towel over your head, breathe in that water for 20 minutes. I have people put in either eucalyptus or peppermint essential oil. If you've got a bunch of essential oil-rich plants in your garden, you can just walk out and pick a bunch of peppermint, oregano, thyme, any of those herbs, sage, and just fill that pot full of those herbs, stick them in there and breathe that for about 20 minutes and do that multiple times a day. Amazing treatment.
Yeah.
What's slippery elm? Slippery elm, yeah.
Slippery elm and wild cherry bark, two other ones that are commonly recommended for that condition, and I have no experience with them. Do you?
With slippery elm, it's great, but there's big issues with elm trees being dying. So I would stay away from slippery elm because marshmallow is fabulous, and I grow it right in my backyard. So it's local, and there's not fear of it being over-harvested at this point, and because it's grown.
Yeah. One of the things.
Take fresh marshmallow and just pound it with a mortar or something and put it in the water?
Chop it up
Steam it?
and put. Well, I don't know so much about steams for demulcents, but I drink them in tea.